Okay, so next up we're going to look at the product catalog template. So first of all, if we look at our front end, by default WooCommerce will populate all of the pages needed for our shop or our store, and that includes the shop layout as well as the basket pages and checkout page. But because we're looking at the shop product catalog design, we want to look at our shop page. So the product catalog basically gives us all of our products, and we also get functionality for filtering products by latest, highest, lowest price, etc. We also get a breadcrumb, title, and number of products that we're looking at, and obviously the list of products. And we also get this functionality at the bottom for pagination, which allows us to paginate through pages. So how do we edit this page? Well, it's fairly simple. First thing we need to do is to go to our full site editing experience, which is under Appearance Editor. Instinctively, you'd expect to go to Pages and then edit your shop page. So if we do that, edit, we can see that we've got the placeholder, and we've also got an icon at the top that looks like a document. That indicates we're on the page. But if we click the placeholder, we get a pop-up that says edit your template to edit this block. So clearly the block is in another template. So if we click edit template, that will now change to the template. We can see that the icon's changed and it's gone purple, and we're editing the product catalog template. But if we just come back out of that, and rather than access it through the page, you can still get to it through your templates in the sidebar, which is exactly the same way as you would through pages, except we're just going through the sidebar. So we can see our product catalog template, and we can see the product placement hold or the placeholder, and we click edit or directly on the page. We're now editing the template the same as we were before. So as it's the placeholder, we simply click on it, and this tells us this is the classic template placeholder. Transform this template into multiple blocks so you can add, remove, reorder, and customize your product catalog template. So if we transform into blocks, this will take everything and convert everything, all the elements, into individual blocks, as you can see. We can see it's not quite right. It's a single column and not a grid view, but we've taken out the default because now we're customizing. So if we go to our list view, which is really important for navigating all of our blocks listed on the page, we can see all our blocks are listed here, and I want to go to the product block, and I'm interested in the product template itself. We can see that we've got other blocks for pagination, which is further down the page, and no results, which is a message that would show if you did a search. But I'm interested in the block template. By default it's showing as a list view, which is not selected, and I want it to be the grid view. If we change it to grid, we can now see that we're looking more like the default style, and this is looking good. So now maybe we want to change the settings for this and change it to 2 columns, so we can go ahead and do that. And we can start to look at the design of the layout itself. Now if we look at the product template, we can see that the product template is actually one product, and it is made up of the image, product title, price, and cart, and that represents the loop of all of the other products. So say for instance we kind of like the look of this, but we want to maybe get rid of the add to cart, because I don't know, maybe you want the user to click into the product itself and choose some of the attributes that pertain to that product, so you don't need to have an add to cart directly on the product page. So we can get rid of that. Now if we get rid of that on that template, it gets rid of them on all of them, because it's looping through the product, the individual product as a template. So it's like a template within a template, if you like. Weird to get your head around, but that's kind of what it is. So the other thing you might want to do, say, okay, well, I don't like the way this is stacked, so maybe I want to put the product title and the price in its own group, and then we can turn that group into a row. what that will do is just horizontally align everything. So you can see we've got this weird step thing. That'll be to do with the vertical alignment. So you can change the vertical alignment to align from top, and everything's ranged to the left at the moment. Maybe you want to space that out, so you can space that out. And obviously the type sizes are different, which is fine. We can go into each individual block and we can look at the styles of those blocks. So at the moment it's saying that the type is medium and the appearance is by default. Maybe you want to make that regular, and then we can look at the product price and make that medium, and again make the appearance of the text regular. So we can see that we're starting to make a kind of cleaner look and feel for the shop. So maybe you're happy with that. Okay, well that's nice, but I want to put in a banner maybe at the top. That's fine. So if we come to our list view, so we can see that we've got our breadcrumbs, notice, and then we've got our product. Maybe you want to put it in just before a product listing. So we're going to add before, we want to put a cover image in there. So we'll choose something from the media library. Maybe we'll put in some funky glasses, and maybe you want to say get ready for summer. Now obviously you can start to look at the style of these individual blocks by going into their settings. So maybe you want to make that text white out, and maybe you want to make the text letter case all caps. It's not in the right place there, so maybe you want to add a spacer. So we go ahead and add after a spacer. Now a spacer, what that will do is just add a block that is an invisible block that allows you to change the kind of the dimensions of things or where things sit. You could add padding directly to that, but sometimes you get a little bit more granular control by using a spacer. So this is kind of centered. Maybe you want to make that left aligned. Maybe you want to make it really bold. So we can go to the type and change the appearance and make that black. Let's make a little bit of real estate here so we can see what's going on. So our image, our block image, cover image is it's not quite the width that we want it to. I think it's set to our global style. So maybe you want to make that the full width. So now we're looking in a good place. This is where we kind of want to be. Again, you can see that maybe the spaces isn't quite right. So maybe you want to change that, or maybe you want to make it, push it down to the bottom, you know. So you can see you can start to take a lot of control. Actually, even better, probably make that right aligned to fit that space. So I'm looking at it more from a design point of view now, looking at kind of spaces that things might fit better, and maybe make that text slightly smaller, maybe not so small as that, so we can use a custom sizes and just sit them in nicely there. So yeah, so you can see that you can start to take a lot of control over this. But let's say you save this out and you go and show your boss maybe. So if we look at our shop, refresh the front end, and he says, yeah, that's great, I love it, but where's the filter? Where's the number of products? We want to put that back in. Doesn't like the fact that we've taken the add to cart button away. And there's various things that is not like, maybe you need to just start again. So you think, well, how am I going to build this page out again? Well, it's not as difficult as you think. So what we can do is just take that whole template and just clear the customization on it. And what that will do is it will just reset it to the way it was previously, or as the default. And then you can just simply go back. You can either edit by clicking the pencil icon, or you can click directly on the page again. and then you can just transfer that back into blocks and start again. What we'll do next is we'll just look at the styling of individual elements that we can that are made up of the products block. So again, if we look at our list, we come at our group. I'm just going to go back to our products and our product template. I'm just going to turn that back into a list view again, so we're back in the kind of state we were. You maybe want to go to the global styles, and say your boss wants to say, I don't know, or somebody wants to change the color of the add to cart button. So we can go to our global. If you click on it, it takes you directly to the global styles for that block. So we change the color, maybe we want to make it blue, and we look at our product price and we want to make that maybe bold, and we want to make our product title default, not default, we want to look at the appearance of the font and we want to make that regular, maybe light, I don't know. But you can see how you can start to take control over the look and feel of the design of everything. So that kind of like concludes this part of the video series. So if you've got this far, you can still bear it. Maybe think about giving the video a thumbs up. It's really good, useful feedback for me. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.